Away from that, the President General of Okuama community in Delta State, Ugeli South local government area, James Oghoroko, has reportedly died while in military custody. Oghoroko was arrested alongside other community leaders, including Professor Arthur Ikpepo, Chief Belvis Adogbo, and Padenis Ukugbaye, between August 18 and 2024. The arrests followed a violent incident in the community that led to the deaths of 17 soldiers and subsequent military action in the area. Outraged by detention, the Okuama community filed a lawsuit against the Nigerian Army, seeking 100 million naira in damages for what they described as illegal detention. A federal high court had adjourned the bail hearing for the arrested leaders to December 9, 2024, but Oghoroko's death occurred just days before the scheduled hearing. And for more on that, we're joined by our correspondent, Austin Azu. Austin, good evening. Glad to have you join me on the news. If you can hear me, what's been the general sentiment within the Okuama community, following the news of the President General's death and the military detention?
Yes, good evening. What's currently happened in Okuama, precisely like what you rightly pointed out, is the sudden death of the President General of the community, and the community is quite saddened and they are mourning at the moment. However, a press conference was earlier held today in Warri by some community leaders from the community, pleading to the federal government, the state governments, and relevant authorities to prevail on the military to release their other detained kinsmen that have been in their custody since August this year. Of course, the Okuama bloodbath thereafter has led to the dissolutions of the community. Of course, we know quite well that the women and the children are still at the IDP camp at the moment. And of course, we quite understood quite well that since the kinsmen from the community were arrested, the leadership of the community has been put on hold, and some other people who are now rallying around to see how they will be able to come together to speak in one voice. However, they came together this afternoon to, express their displeasure over what the military tends to have, brought their community to, and they are still appealing to the relevant authorities to prevail on the military so that those in current detention, like the treasurer and the other people that were arrested, should please be released so that they can reunite with them, so that they will have that reunion again while they are waiting for the government to begin the rebuilding process, which he promised them after the military left the community, when they had the community for 6 weeks and thereabout before they finally returned back to their ancestral home.
We understand, Austin, that the community leadership has conveyed a press conference, to address the matter to authorities there. What can you say about this?
Yes, like what I rightly said earlier on, their concerns remains the fact that they are law-abiding citizens and they want a peaceful atmosphere for them to return back to their ancestral home, knowing fully well what played out in March 14 and subsequent military invasion, and even their neighboring communities that, perceived that it seems to be a threat to them. However, what they are equally clamoring for is that their people should be released from detention. You know quite well that when the military, struck the community and they brought the community to rebel, some people were declared wanted. Among those that were declared wanted was the traditional ruler from the kingdom, who submitted himself voluntarily to the Nigerian police. Thereafter, it was handed over down to the military. After a few weeks thereabout, was released. And other people subsequently didn't submit themselves voluntarily, and some of them were picked up randomly across the state. Since their arrest, they have been crying and lamenting that the federal government should take pity and consider and release those people unconditionally before the lawsuit was launched against the Nigerian military. Before, of course, the hearing is supposed to be on the 9th of this month, but however, with what played out yesterday, of course, from what we gathered so far, the council to the community have made up its arrangement to meet with the family of the President General to, meet with him probably before they will further continue with the case. But by and large, the community, they are still mourning and they are still crying. One thing they are demanding is that the federal governments, the state governments, and relevant authorities should prevail on the Nigerian military so that those who are currently in detention could be released. One among them was the current treasurer of the community, whom they said is currently sick and he needs some medical, attention. And it claims that they have not been able to communicate with them for the past few days, alleging that if care is not taken, another person would die again, which they don't pray for. That the only way they can be able to, salvage the situation is for them to release those in detention so that they'll be able to take, go for medical attention, because where they are at the moment, they claim that they are poorly treated. They allege that they are being, tortured. And because of what they put together, that this trauma might have led to what led to the death of the President General. And not only that as well, that those who are still, battling for their health needs to be, brought to public. They don't just the way they lost one of them just a few days ago.
All right, thank you so much for your coverage, Austin Azu. We'll keep in touch with you, of course, to see how things turn out. Many thanks, Austin.